Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Tuesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Diana Master. In the news tonight, Rundu Intermediate Hospital has launched a week-long cataract surgical campaign earlier this week aimed at restoring sight for 450 patients, especially elderly residents across Kavango East, Kavango West and Zambezi regions. The initiative runs from the 13th to the 20th of June, according to the hospital superintendent, Dr. Teresia Shivera. At the official launch, Dr. Shivera praised the local ophthalmology team, saying despite having 2 ophthalmic clinical officers at Intermediate Hospital Rundu and 1 at Andara District Hospital, this team has demonstrated what we can achieve amidst the challenges in a resource-constrained environment. She commended the Department of Ophthalmology for extending services across 3 regions. Between the 1st of April 2024 and the 31st of March 2025, the team screened 16,891 cases and performed roughly 700 surgeries. Dr. Shivera highlighted the importance of collaboration and acknowledged support from visiting ophthalmologists, including those from Germany and the theatre, and clinical teams who traveled from as far afield as Omaheke and Oshana. She expressed hope that the legacy established by Dr. Ndume and colleagues continues beyond their tenure. In our next story, Gabes Shimi, who is 30 years of age, is accused of fatally shooting a man at Chicago's bar in Windhoek over the weekend before fleeing the scene, allegedly only learned that he had killed someone while in police custody for drunken driving. He had been stopped by officers while fleeing the Independence Avenue establishment, where he allegedly caused havoc. Shimi, a car dealer based in Windhoek, was allegedly involved in a fight at the popular bar and was escorted off the premises by bouncers. He then allegedly ran to his vehicle, retrieved a firearm and fired several shots into the air. After emptying the magazine, he reportedly returned to his car, reloaded the firearm and came back to fire additional rounds, this time at random. A stray bullet is believed to have struck and killed 35-year-old Nande Mulokoshi. According to eyewitnesses, Mulokoshi was not involved in the earlier altercation. After the second round of shooting, Shimi allegedly drove off but was stopped by police at a city center roadblock. There he was tested for alcohol, found to be over the legal limit and was immediately arrested. As police responded to the reported shooting at Chicago's bar and began searching for the suspect, they discovered that the man arrested for drunken driving matched the description of the shooter. Shimi's world reportedly came crashing down when officers informed him while in custody that he was being charged with murder in connection with the fatal shooting. He appeared in court earlier today on charges of murder, discharging a firearm in a municipal area, and driving under the influence of alcohol. State Prosecutor Eric Naikaku presented the charges before Magistrate Monica Anjaba. During the brief court appearance, Shimi initially stated that he intended to conduct his own defense. However, the magistrate strongly advised against this, citing the seriousness of the murder charge. Shimi then agreed to consult a lawyer. When asked to enter a plea, he hesitated and stuttered. Magistrate Anjaba asked if he wished to speak to a lawyer first, to which he agreed. The matter was postponed to the 14th of August to allow for ongoing police investigations and to give Shimi time to apply for legal aid. Now, the national oil company NAMCOR has spent close to 6.5 million Namibian dollars in legal fees in its protracted battle with former managing director Emmanuel Mulunga. The dispute, which has dragged on since Mulunga's suspension in April 2023 on allegations of fraud and breach of contract, has seen the parastatal burn through millions in public funds in an attempt to defend its actions. Figures seen by Namibian Sun indicate that as of January this year, NAMCOR had racked up 6.1 million Namibian dollars in legal expenses related to the case. Over the last 5 months, that figure has grown by roughly another 400,000 Namibian dollars, pushing the total legal spend to 6.5 million Namibian dollars. This revelation comes shortly after Mulunga secured a victory at the Labour Court a fortnight ago, where he challenged his dismissal and won. The new NAMCOR board, chaired by Florentia Amwenje, oversaw his dismissal. Mulunga was fired on the 8th of August 2024 and subsequently filed a case of unfair dismissal. NAMCOR in turn lodged a counterclaim 2 months later, accusing him of discrimination and breach of contract. However, on the 5th of June 2025, arbitrator Moses Mazambo ruled in favor of Mulunga and dismissed NAMCOR's case. He also ordered the parastatal to pay 4,000 Namibian dollars in costs. While NAMCOR declined to comment directly on the ruling, company spokesperson Uthara Hoveka said the parastatal would act in its best interests moving forward. Until such time that this matter reaches conclusion, we regard it as a sub judice and refrain from commenting on it in detail at this stage, Hoveka was quoted as saying. Now, Mulunga, who was reappointed as NAMCOR's managing director in October 2024 second term, had just 10 months left on his contract at the time of his dismissal. Should a settlement be based on the remaining value of his contract, he stands to be paid around 2 million Namibian dollars. The initial suspension in April 2023 stemmed from a controversial transfer of 123 million Namibian dollars from NAMCOR's account to Sungara Energies, a London-based joint venture formed to acquire oil assets in Angola from Sonangol, that country's state-owned petroleum company. The transfer, which NAMCOR's board later said was done without its prior approval, raised alarm over internal governance, transparency, and accountability at the parastatal. Although the Anti-Corruption Commission later investigated the transaction and in July of 2023 cleared Mulunga of any criminal wrongdoing, NAMCOR still pursued disciplinary action against him, culminating in his dismissal. And now bringing us to the end of our top stories, a total of 1,656 recruits officially commenced their military training yesterday at the Namibian Defence Force training establishment at the Osona base near Okahanja. Now, the occasion marked the official opening of the 18th recruit training intake, presided over by the Chief of the Namibian Defence Force, Air Marshal Martin Kambulu Pinehas. Delivering the keynote remarks, Pinehas expressed gratitude to President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah for approving the recruitment of new members into the force. He further extended appreciation to the Minister of Defence, Frans Kapofi, for his continued support to the military. According to Pinehas, the 2025 intake comprises 1,303 males and 353 females. Of this number, 88 are drivers, 82 males and 6 females, while 11 are pilots, including 1 female. Addressing the recruits directly, he reminded them of the constitutional mandate of the Namibian Defence Force as set out in Chapter 15, Article 115 of the Namibian Constitution. He emphasized that the primary function of the NDF is to defend the territorial integrity and national interests of the Republic of Namibia. Additionally, the force may be called upon to assist civil authorities when necessary. Stay with us. Right after this, we'll bring you our story of the day.
Taking flight has never been easier. Paratus is introducing Sky-Fi internet packages with speeds that will have you reaching for your seatbelts, starting from 500 Namibian dollars excluding VAT per month, with speeds reaching up to 10 megabits per second. There's even a prepaid option where you can top up your Sky-Fi internet for just 15 Namibian dollars per gigabyte. No contracts, no fuss. Visit your nearest Paratus branch to find out more, or go to paratus.africa/Namibia to sign up online.
Always prepared, Paratus.
And now getting into our story of the day. Urban and Rural Development Minister James Sankwasa has accused some regional authorities of operating too independently from government, prioritizing political allegiances over national interests. Sankwasa singled out the Kunene, Karas, Hardap and Irongo regions as the main culprits. The minister said that since assuming office 2 months ago, he has observed a high level of disregard for the principles of good governance, adding that it is unsurprising that officials fail to deliver efficient and effective public services. This is the root of many of the challenges we face today: widespread misgovernance and corruption in many local authorities, some of which appear to operate as though they are autonomous from the central government, aligned more with party interests than with national principles, the minister Ministry charged. We must put an end to this political deviation and resist efforts to turn local councils into independent entities operating under the influence of individual political parties, he added. Stay with us. We'll be bringing you our economic news stories right after this. Tonight in our economic news, African energy explorer Rhino Resources and its partner Azule Energy will drill the new Volans 1X exploration well offshore Namibia in late July or early August, a company spokesperson said on Tuesday. The Volans prospect is being investigated soon after Rhino Resources struck light oil in April at its second successful exploration well, Capricornus 1X, that was drilled in the prolific Orange Basin off Namibia's coast. The Cape Town headquartered company is the operator of Petroleum Exploration License 85 in partnership with Azule Energy, a BP and Eni joint venture, as well as national oil company Namcor and Chorus Investments. If Volans 1X fails, options include appraising Sagittarius, drilling another prospect, or returning to Capricornus, the spokesperson said. Other operators that have found significant discoveries offshore the southern African country include Shell and Galp Energia. In April, Namibia received a boost on Thursday when Rhino Resources discovered a high-quality light oil in its latest well, and U.S. oil producer Chevron said it was considering a new drilling campaign in either 2026 or 2027. The results have proven the existence of a high-quality light oil-bearing reservoir with no observed water contact, Travis Smithard, CEO of Rhino Resources, said in a statement at the time. African energy explorer Rhino Resources found the light oil in its second successful exploration well, Capricornus 1X, that was drilled in the prolific Orange Basin off of Namibia's coast. Now, the well, which successfully completed a production test across the light oil-bearing reservoir, will be temporarily plugged and abandoned, it said of the latest exploration success in one of the world's hottest exploration frontiers. Rhino Resources and partners will consider post-drilling analysis to determine its strategy across the block, the company said after its Sagittarius 1X well drilled in February also intersected a hydrocarbon reservoir. In our next story, the city of Windhoek has applied to the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development to implement a special rating area aimed at revitalizing its central business district, which has seen a significant decline in investment in recent years. In a recent interview with MarketWatch, City of Windhoek official Lisa Figaji explained that the initiative would empower property owners within the CBD to use their own funds to reinvigorate the area. In essence, the special rating area is a model through which we request approval from our line ministry to allow us to invite applications from special rating area groups. These groups would then apply to the city to be declared a special rating area. A special rating area is simply a geographical zone, Figaji said. For example, lines would be drawn in the CBD on Robert Mugabe Avenue and along various adjacent streets, which would then be demarcated as a specific area. In that area, all property owners would contribute through additional levies and taxes based on their property, she said. The funds collected would be channeled into a dedicated vehicle that would manage the money for revitalization efforts, Figaji explained. They would pay this to the city, and that money would then go to a non-governmental organization established by property owners who would use the funding to support the development, improvements, and revitalization of public spaces within that geographical area, she said. The model was identified as the most sustainable approach to driving the revitalization of the CBD, according to Figaji. Long-term sustainability is ensured because it is in the interest of the property owners to ensure their business and working environment is in excellent condition, attractive and conducive to business. This helps safeguard the value of the investment they've made in their properties, she said. Figaji described the implementation of the special rating area as a win-win for property owners, Windhoek residents and the municipal council. Now let's take a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 24.22 against the British pound, 20.66 to the euro, 17.93 against the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 50 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. Looking at commodities, gold and copper are on a dip of 0.71 and 0.46% respectively, while platinum and Brent crude oil are on an upturn of 1.78 and 4.16% respectively. Tonight in international news, due to global warming, climate change is becoming more evident in many countries in the form of recurrent droughts and desertification, with desertification covering over 2/3 of Southern Africa's land area. This is according to the Southern African Science Service Center for Climate Change and Adaptive Land Management, which joined the global community in commemorating the World Day to Combat Desertification and Drought, observed on 17 June 2025. It said that this year's theme, Restore the Land, Unlock the Opportunities, resonates profoundly with their day-to-day work and the projects they implement in member countries, namely Angola, Botswana, Namibia, South Africa, and Zambia. The degradation of arable and pastoral lands continues to accelerate, driven by prolonged droughts, unsustainable land use practices, overgrazing, deforestation, and the impacts of climate change. SASCOL said that in the last 30 years, many countries in the region have experienced harsh and unforgiving climatic conditions where drought is not an occasional event but a recurring reality. Coupled with desertification, these challenges threaten not only the health of our ecosystems, but the very foundation of our rural livelihoods, food security, and socio-economic development. In response to these challenges and others, SASCOL generates data, invests in people, and integrates restoration of land and unlocks opportunities for the people. SASCOL does not merely study the land, but invests and restores it while coordinating science that speaks directly to the needs of our communities, ecosystems, and economies. That's it for our international news. Now let's take a look at the weather predictions. Winter can expect clear conditions. Minimum temperatures of 8 degrees are to be expected and maximum temperatures of 21 degrees to be expected. Looking over in Oshakati, 27 degrees will be the maximum, while the minimum temperatures will be at 13 degrees Celsius. At Yamsflay, clear conditions expected there as well. Minimum temperatures of 10 degrees, while maximum temperatures will be at 23 degrees Celsius. Over at the coast in Walvis Bay, minimum temperatures are to be expected of 22 degrees Celsius and maximum temperatures will be at 32 degrees Celsius.
Slow internet should be a headache of the past, yet many Namibians have connections that just aren't fast. We have a solution that might set you free. It's called Mobile LTE, and it comes with real speed. You'll enjoy up to 50 megabytes per second from just 300 Namibian dollars a month and free internet browsing after midnight till 6. When it comes to staying connected, this is it. Visit Paratus.Africa/Namibia or our branches nationwide and experience the thrill of better internet with Paratus by your side.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Taking flight has never been easier. Paratus is introducing Sky-Fi internet packages with speeds that will have you reaching for your seatbelts, starting from 500 Namibian dollars excluding VAT per month, with speeds reaching up to 10 megabits per second. There's even a prepaid option where you can top up your Sky-Fi internet for just 15 Namibian dollars per gigabyte. No contracts, no fuss. Visit your nearest Paratus branch to find out more, or go to Paratus.Africa/Namibia to sign up online.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Before we cross on over to the Sport Wrap desk, courtesy of Sport Wrap, Deb Marine Desert Jewels narrowly avoided defeat after the Singapore Vanders missed a final second shot under the net at the United Arab Emirates UAE Netball Cup. Now let's cross on over to Ari Gougaard with our latest sports news.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news. Starting off with tennis news first. Queen's Tennis, that's on grass. It's leading up to Wimbledon that will start soon. And it is the women's winner that was crowned, and it is Amanda Anisimova of the United States. She beat Tatiana Maria in the final 6-3 and 6-4. So that was both unseeded players. They had big wins both in the semi-finals. It was Anisimova that beat number 1 seed Qinwen Zheng, and it was Tatiana Maria that beat Madison Keys, number 2 seed of America. So good result there for Amanda Anisimova winning the Queen's Tournament. In the men's tournament, the number 1 seed will be Carlos Alcaraz that recently won the French Open, and he will play against Alejandro Davidovich. That is in the first round, both of them from Spain. And then number 2 seed is Jack Draper, and the number 3 seed in the tournament is Taylor Fritz. Going on to soccer news, and it's still transfer season and it's still transfer news. England defender Kyle Walker, he's currently officially signed at Manchester City, but he was out of favour there. He was on loan to AC Milan for the last half of the season. They also didn't make the squad for the Club World Cup, and so he's not playing good football at the moment, but Everton is keen to sign him. Everton confirmed that they're going to make an offer to Manchester City. Not sure if it's going to be on loan or a permanent transfer. That is for Kyle Walker, the England midfielder. Then also Crystal Palace, they're on the brink to sign PSV Eindhoven goalkeeper, that is Walter Benitez, and Benitez will have a tough assignment when he goes to Crystal Palace, because he needs to compete against the current England goalkeeper, that is Dean Henderson. So that is all transfer news at the moment. And then to close off today's international sports news, it is cricket news. It is a T20 series, a 3-game series that ended up in just 1 game. First 2 games rained out. That was between Ireland and the West Indies. So they played a third and a deciding one to clinch the series, and it was in the end the West Indies that won that quite comfortably by 62 runs. It was a big total set for Ireland. It was the West Indies that scored 256 for 5 in their lot of 20 overs, with Owen Lewis scoring 91, and then Ireland could only get 194 for the loss of 7 wickets. So West Indies winning their series against Ireland by 1-0. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Before we reach our goodbyes, let's get into some news that just came in. The Directorate of Veterinary Services has confirmed Namibia's first case of rabies in a Cape Fur seal at Walvis Bay Lagoon. The animal showed suspected signs on 13 June and died the next day. Lab tests on 16 June confirmed the virus. The ministry urges the public, especially in coastal areas, to report seals showing unusual behavior to the nearest state veterinary office. And with that, we have come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday from Monday through to Thursday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. I am Diana Master, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.